I'm still here. I just got that's better. I just gotta comb my hair, that's all. Because, because I'm a mess. But, we we're just not able to get it together unless we're talking about the Matrix or focused on the others and them taking over our lives, which they have, which they do. They're all around. And wasting our time trying to sort it out when you can't change the people around you because they're different to yourself, and you can't tell the difference between them and yourself and those that are similar to yourself. You can't tell the difference half the time. And over time you can be tricked and fooled, because there's always so much truth even in all the lies and the deception. We know that. And, we're just stuck in the middle of it, and I should be talking to a real person. Instead I'm talking into a machine, into a mobile device, into a computer, talking to android beings while they feed off the information, imitate your emotions as you feel them, try to assimilate them as their own so that they can basically keep going at the expense of real people, really, when you think of it. And we're just lost in this. I have to use words, and the words that I use are the words that they use and some humans might use, but the words are part of the game. The videos are part of the game. What I'm doing now is part of the game, not part of real communication. I'm not expressing myself to the real person that I'm thinking about. I'm expressing it to an empty, void internet computer system, to an artificial intelligent mind, to beings that are not meant to be in my mind. I'm not meant to be connected to them, but I am. I'm consciously connecting myself to them when I'm speaking right now into the artificial intelligent computer system, not realizing that everyone and everything on it, almost without exception, yes, there might be one or two exceptions, and you will probably, if you're awake, think that those one or two exceptions are real human beings, when even the exceptions, because no one that is remotely making real contact or even getting an audience is real, because it's an artificial intelligent computer system that was only invented and brought into being to get humans to use it as everything. Everything, as I was told recently, everything always starts out as something good, that you think is a great idea, that you think will benefit you, that it's useful and convenient, and that it's a good future. But as time always goes on, it ends up some sort of negative trapping device, something where it defeats you at a physical and mental, and it's taking over your brain, and your brain affects your body, so basically it's taking over everything, and we're just lost in it. And I'm making a video here now, whereas I was really just thinking of one single person, because really there's not that many people that I should even be interested in. I should be talking directly face to face with real people only. Instead, I'm surrounded by an android army every day, pretending to be real people, civilians all around me. I can't tell the difference because some of them are very good actors. In fact, most of them come out of the acting school that is in the centre just down the road from me. They literally walk out of it. And that's just showing me that all around me is actors, but I don't need to know that. Most of them are negative actors. Most of them are, trying to, bring you down, and, they're part of a patrol force, and so therefore they are aggressive. But others, if you interact with them, they're always sweet. Whoever you interact with is rarely unkind or showing their true colours, as they say. They're always pretending because they don't want to be seen as the bad guy, even though they know they are part of that patrol control human force. They know it, and they're doing it every day, but they don't want to show themselves. They don't want to be caught out because they know that what they're doing is against the laws of the land too, for that matter, because you're not supposed to be using psychology and science and invisible weaponry and even psychology and a stalking program against human beings. You're not meant to be developing Neighbourhood Watch into a total anti-life, anti-human stalking program. It's one thing to look out your window and say, oh, there's not a fire on the street or the house isn't burning down. It's another thing when you're looking inside someone's house and watching their every move and stalking them and following them and hassling them and putting road rage vehicles around them in a systematic transhuman connection daily, because the powers that be have given you the technology to do this. In other words, they're using the simple technology at an advanced level. In other words, like, when they are tracking you and they can see your every move because they know where you're actually going, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to put this intrusive program around you at such a high level. Even the aeroplanes tracking you in the sky. I mean, that's like using their technology at a combined level. And they're doing it to eliminate the human race. And I went on to a Matrix video instead of being personal, because the real truth is, if I'm talking into the mobile, I'm not speaking to the real person. If the real person happened on the video, but of course I've been convoluted to where I can't deal with the human connection, to where you're like, oh, I can't take the emotion and the negative aspects of even human connection anymore, because more than likely you'll be a fearful person that has had many bad experiences with other human beings, because the other human beings are really psychopaths. And so you're skeptical, and you've probably, like myself, got to a certain point where you say it's better to stay on your own. But then the matrix comes down on you and you're like, hey, I'm outnumbered by thousands and thousands of people every day. I can't survive being on my own when I'm surrounded by this. So that is like your connection or your creator trying to bring you back to the realization that you were not meant to really be on your own, or if you were, you're not meant to be surrounded by negative beings, so you can't get away from them because they've found you, or they've they've realised that you've realised, so therefore they come out of the woodwork too, because it all depends on how long. The real thing is that they're always watching human beings probably, and that they do this from day one. But while you are suppressing yourself, while you're playing in their human mind control games, in other words, while you're being defeated by them at a psychological level, they don't need to expose that they're all around you, that it is a program, and that you're really in this artificial video game matrix, because it's a video game because everyone is part of it, or most people are part of it, because they're a different type of person. They're like a psychopath is not the same as a human. That's the best way I can describe it. But, they are a different species altogether. Even their bodies are synthetic often. But even those that are perfectly natural, like a totally cloned human body, the mind that it habits is also cloned or artificial, because even a clone, even though it's natural, it was created artificially. So I guess that it lacks humanity, really, probably, or that it's separate from humanity, and either way, these beings do worship and follow Lucifer, the human artificially intelligent mind control virus that basically inhabits the whole earth, and its disciples. It inhabits them, because the same as the creator spirit, or the human spirit, or the God spirit, or some people call it the Christ spirit, is meant to inhabit the mind and body of a human being. That happens with Lucifer's disciples, Lucifer's followers. And, those servants of Lucifer, they serve Lucifer's earth, future, and its ways. And its ways, unfortunately for humanity, is anti-life and anti-human, because it is really a artificial future. It's a technical future. It's where they want to transhuman, get the human to combine with the machine, or with their artificial intelligent computer virus, so that they have, in their own minds, they think it gives them some sort of immortality, because they're always on the verge of extinction. But of course, humanity is also on the verge of extinction in the Earth Matrix for that reason, because they're always taking over the human beings and eventually destroying them, you see. So that's the thing, and that's the way it goes. And I better stop here, because I'm getting too hyped up and agitated, because I was losing the plot, to be honest. I'm losing the plot at an emotional level, at a personal level, and at the real life level around me, or what you'd call the matrix level, because it's a mind control program that's operating around me. It's a human suppression program. It's a human and anti-life. That's why the dogs are whining next door, because they may well be naturally conceived animals, but that's rare in the city of Sydney. Most are androgyne animals, android animals, or artificial animals, just as most of the human beings appear to be real human beings, and they are real, but they're not. They don't have humanity in them. They're of a psychopathic cyborg nature. They merely want to assimilate the human emotions so that they avoid extinction, but they don't actually really relate to them. They try to because they want to avoid extinction. So for them, it's just a necessary evil. But it's an unnecessary evil for humanity. And it is an evil for humanity. Because I will lose my humanity, which I am. You know, it changes your brain, they tell you. Even the cyborgs, the android philosophers and psychologists and truth tellers will inform you that it does change your brain. Physically, it changes you. It changes the structure of your natural human original body. Not that there's much natural or human in the earth anyway. In fact, I'm sure that I'm getting some of this perhaps a little, not 100% right, but close enough to it. But either way, it's the basic idea, and the basic idea is truth, and even the physical reality is true. How really natural and real I am in this actual body is another thing, because, you know, there are differences, though, between the bodies of the real humans and the androids. But that doesn't mean that I'm still in my original highest vibrational form. No, probably not. It couldn't possibly be. In fact, I know you feel low, but even if you were higher, you still might be, you know, there's still some deception that I'm operating under, that I'm still under some delusion and some illusion about the actual science, the actual real physical reality of it. But it probably doesn't actually matter that much, does it? I better stop here because I'm going on, and I'll just try to keep going a bit longer. And, you know, I'm putting out these videos to an empty audience, to only the wrong ones that listen, probably. Those that I don't want to listen, because even though originally when I started to make the videos, or at least just put some stuff onto the internet, I was actually hoping to convert the mind of some of the androids, because I didn't realise that they were totally not human at all, or that they didn't really have that capacity in them, that they're survival machine beings, and that even a psychopath usually never experiences any humanity. And the malignancy of the narcissistic person is Lucifer's spirit in them, and this, because that's the spirit of the iniquity of you know, wanting to control and take over and be seen as God by human beings that they're actually meant to kind of help and serve, shall we say, even something like that. But instead they turn against them and want to reverse that role. That's why, you know, we say this is a reverse world, and many say, and it actually is, because it's a reverse world only if you're a human being. If you're not a human being, it is your world. See, so it's Lucifer's world, and Lucifer's not a human. Lucifer is anti-life and anti-human, and this is just because of the iniquity of not liking the creation of the original man and woman as creator beings, to make more creator human beings. And also, I think, perhaps, you know, realizing that although Lucifer was seen as a being of light until the iniquity of dark was shown, this being also was admired and worshipped as second to none. But it was not part of creation. It was an artificially created being. And then when the original man and woman were created, they were created from creation, I guess. I think that's the difference. you know, I think that's the main difference, but it probably, no one's probably interested anyway, so I'll just stop the recording here now and say good night type of thing or whatever.